Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new piercing reaction video. So today I'm going to be reading out some of your own personal horror stories. You seem to really like these. I love doing them. So if you haven't done your comment already, whatever, comment down below some of your own personal horror stories, and then maybe I'll read yours out in the next one. If you have already posted a story and I haven't read yours out, feel free to repost the same story on this one and then maybe in the next one. Eventually I'll get around to them because in my next video I will be coming to this one for the stories. So I'm gonna just get onto your horror stories right now. I have the comment section here on my phone. I'm gonna swipe through and let's get triggered together. Choo choo! My horror story. My horror story. I couldn't stretch my ears. They were too resistant, I guess. It didn't matter how slow I went. Trust me, I went really slowly. It just didn't work for me. So I gave all my spirals and jewelry and stuff to my friend who wanted to stretch their ears. I say friend because the stupid B word pushed the biggest spiral through their unstretched ear. No, oh stupid, and blamed me for the horrendous infection. What? So they did something wrong and they blamed you for it. What? What? They pushed the biggest spiral through that unstretched ear and blamed me for the horrendous infection before abandoning me and spreading rumors about me. What the hell? Who does that? Who actually does that? What? How can someone honestly say, oh, you gave me your stuff, therefore it's your fault? Like, when they're the person who did it, like, literally, they deserve an infection. I went to get my root done. The piercing went well, but a few days later, I was in agony. I couldn't sleep because it hurt so badly. It was all gross and crusty. I told my piercer and she said just keep cleaning it, even though I was. A couple of weeks later, I was in so much agony. I looked in the mirror and my ear was so swollen, I couldn't even see the bar. Oh no. This is a root piercing as well. This isn't like, you know, it can't like normal sort of ear, whatever. I went to the doctors and they tried to remove the top ball with some sort of scissors. It didn't work. I had to go to the hospital and they tried the scissors again and then a small pair of pliers. The only way they got it off was with a ring cutter. What? Isn't that like a saw? How on earth did they manage to get like a saw in your ear? Like that'd be like, don't cut through the ear. How did they do that? Especially if your ear is like really swollen. So the only way they got it off was with a ring cutter. They told me my ear was so swollen that the ball was cutting into my skin and created a small infected hole and the skin started to grow over the top of the ball and infected area. That's absolutely horrendous. I'm just confused with this story. Like how on earth did they get a ring cutter in your ear? Because your root is such a tiny area. So the bar would have been really small. And if your ear was so swollen, how did they manage to do that without like cutting your actual ear? Like that's a skill, bitch. I had my belly button pierced 10 years ago. The pro put a 90-degree bend in the bar with pliers. The person put, so it was like that, like a part of a square. What? I don't understand. Fast forward 3 weeks, I woke up to a bubble on my belly button. The pus was green and foul. We went to a doctor and the doctor stated that the angle of the piercing was the cause of the pain. Why would the bar be like an angle, like a 90-degree angle? That doesn't make any sense. That's like just squeezing the piercing and causing a lot of pressure inside. What? No piercing should be at a square angle. That person should not have a job. I'm just trying to understand why on earth anyone would do that. I think that was okay or that was right. In response to your new nipple piercings, I myself had a run with a loofah. Oh my God, no. I myself had a run with a loofah at my left nipple ring. I was in a rush, not paying attention, and had pulled it hard enough to rip halfway out. I may have blacked out for a few seconds in pain. I'm not surprised. Anyone, again, like if anyone's done that and you've like pulled your nipple piercing, it is so painful. And unfortunately, yes, years later, I learned the true extent of the damage done when I tried breastfeeding my new baby. Milk everywhere. Oh my gosh. The fact that you managed you ripped through your nipple like halfway, like I can't even imagine. Like when I pulled my left one, I have tore it a tiny bit, but it's literally minute. And that hurt enough, let alone you coming halfway out, like, oh my God, oh my God. And now you're trying to breastfeed and it's just like, fountain. Yeah, guys, honestly, if you've got nipple piercings, keep loofahs away from you. Use some like exfoliating, like if you want to exfoliate properly, like use some like with those funny little gloves you can wear or something, or use like a really hard flannel. Like do not, or admit like a good sponge, but don't use anything that has like little tiny hoops that can get caught, because trust me, you do not want to go for that. It hurts more than the bloody piercing. My sister got a belly button piercing when she was about 16, done with a needle, thankfully. I think that's the first time someone's probably said this on my videos. It's always guns, guns, guns. A few weeks later, we had gone to an amusement park and got on a roller coaster. Oh, for God, do I want to know what happens? If you tell me that it somehow got caught, I don't. You were on a roller coaster and this is about, okay. We both got on it and it stopped suddenly, pushing the metal safety bar of the roller coaster onto her piercing very hard, pulling it through the skin. The skin was so thin afterwards, it is hanging on for dear life. She was left with a small scar because of it. Yeah, amusement parks and new piercings, you do get a bit scary about that kind of stuff because you do get thrown around quite a lot. And I always get questions all the time actually with roller coasters. Like, do I worry that my ears want to catch on something or might, you know, hit your head? I'm quite lucky because I'm quite tall, that when I sit down and any bars that kind of come over your shoulders, I'm tall enough that my ears are kind of well away from the bar. Roller coaster ripped out my piercing. So here's my horror story, and it's bad. It's bad. Recently I got my septum done. Getting it done was fine and the healing was fine. But one day, about 2 days after getting it, I was over at my friend's house. We were chilling on her bed when my boyfriend decided to tickle her. Her very long hair was braided with her lashing everywhere. Her braided hair got caught onto my horseshoe jewelry and it pulled so hard that it tore and started to bleed. No, thank you. Her hair got caught around your like septum piercing and pulled it. That's not okay. That's not okay. Her hair got caught around your septum piercing and it tore and started to bleed. Like having a bloody nose, I never felt so much pain in my life. Went to go check out in the bathroom. Thankfully, it didn't rip all the way through, but it has been super sore ever since. This is about 2 months ago. To be honest, you're gonna be very hard healing that, like, because your nose is gonna try and heal where the hole would have been made, and scabs are gonna appear, and you're gonna be moving it and stuff. Like, that's gonna be very difficult to heal. You might have to take it out and get it redone. The first time I got my nose pierced, I went to a shop, I was 16. Got the notarized form, notarized? Is that how you say it? I don't know how to read that word. Notarized form, and had my parents with me. The shop seemed reliable. Piercing hurt terribly bad, and he put some very dainty jewelry in. The aftercare is where the nightmare comes in. He tells me to clean my piercing with What? He told you to clean your piercing with Listerine. What the actual F? What? Who on earth is this person? Being my first piercing, I didn't know any better. I also didn't realize the jewelry was too small. 36 hours later, my nose swallowed the entire piercing and was burning and inflamed. I stupidly went back to the shop and the piercer literally had to dig it out with a needle. I'm surprised you went to the same person. He finally got the piercing out and asked me to sit still. That's when I realized he went to pierce the second hole. What? Oh guys, I'm sorry, I need to stop. I'm actually getting angry. So this person went to say that the guy went to go pierce her nose again using the same needle he used to dig the other one out. That person should not have a job. And that's the tea. That's actually horrendous. What on earth is happening? What is happening? I still can't believe this person told you to clean your piercing with Listerine. What? 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 Where on earth did he get that information from? I can't. No, trot along, bitch. This literally, I really am on the trigger train. I have a horror story. I went to a local parlor that had a decent reputation and that my friends had went to before. They had a good experience. I feel a butt coming on. However, when I got the conch done, the lady pulled the needle through my ear without the jewelry in my ear. She spent 3 minutes trying to get the stud into my ear without the needle. Why do stupid people do this? How do you become a piercer and not realize that you thread the jewelry in with the needle? You don't pull the needle out and then try to put the jewelry in afterwards because the hole literally seizes up. I shouldn't have to tell piercers this. Like, I'm not a professional piercer. I shouldn't have to tell a professional piercer how to do a piercing. This is absolutely ludicrous. So she put the needle back through the ear again. Why? Why? Because you could potentially pierce it slightly. Oh my God, these people should not, how again, no. Over the last year or so, I got my industrial, my anti-tragus and reverse helix done. I work at fast food when I'm home from university, so I always try to get my piercings done with the longest time available for them to heal before I have to go back to work. Oh my God, same! When I used to work in Morrison's, when I was back in Devon, I used to have to do the same thing, and I would always take like 2 weeks off work, get a piercing, let it heal as much as I possibly could, and then like take it out afterwards. However, I got my reverse helix done as an on-the-spot decision because my friend offered to pay for me. Not only did the piercer not get the needle all the way through the first time and had to go again, which caused me a lot of pain. Usually I can't really feel piercings being done, but I also move a lot in my sleep, so new piercings tend to get irritated. So like a month later, I was home from university and was working full-time in the fast food, so obviously I had to take the piercing out for shifts. I was becoming really good at re-piercing my reverse helix myself at the end of my shifts. No. Oh no. Do you know, again, I'll be honest, I kind of did this myself. Like, when I was working there a while ago, when I had my anti-tragus piercing, they were really funny about me having that in. So I used to take that out for work. And at the end of my shift, the hole was always really, really tight. So I had to always force that bar back through. So this story is very relatable to me. But one day I was trying to get it back in and someone walked behind me and scared me. So I accidentally forced the jewelry back in my ear at an alarming rate, which then caused it to bleed. I got a lot of hypertrophic scarring and it started developing pus, but I didn't take it out because I paid for the piercing and I'm not wasting my money. Literally the same as well, literally the same. babe, that you pay for it. You're like, this is me. We are connected. This is a story that I could have told. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've wanted my industrial drum for the longest time, and about 3 months ago, I finally got the balls to get it. Everything went smoothly, but about 2 weeks later, I had my hair appointment. I told my stylist to please be careful of the piercing. Not even 10 minutes later, she combed my hair, and the comb catches my butt and rips it out. Oh no! You ended the story there. Like, what happened then? Like, was the hairdresser like, oh, I'm so sorry, or was she like, well, sucks to be you, bish. Like, what happened? I can't imagine that, like, the hairdresser, because, like, what would they do? Like, that must be such an awkward position, because they're like, oh, why don't? Triggered. Hopefully mine will get noticed this time. Okay, here's the tea. So I got my ears pierced when I was like 5 against my will. Parents, do not pierce your baby's ears, for God's sake. So 5-year-old, you're still a baby. Like in the grand scheme of things, you don't have a choice over it. Like, I'm sorry. So this happened way after I got my ears done and they healed. I was cleaning my rat's cage. Yes, I have rats, I'm weird. And so usually I clean her cage, but I put her on my shoulder so she can snuggle up in my hair and chew on it. Letting a rat chew on your hair, that is a little weird. I put her on my shoulder and felt she wasn't moving around much, so I was getting suspicious. Suddenly I felt a sharp pain on my piercing, so I quickly grabbed her and put her in a cage and ran to the bathroom. I looked in the mirror to see my piercing had she had dragged my piercing all the way down the bottom of my earlobe, so oh no. So this rat bit the piercing and ripped her earlobe all the way down. Although, you know, so now I've had parakeets, parrots, dogs, cats, and now rats added to the list of piercing attacks that have happened. Keep your piercings away from babies and animals, guys. Do not go near them. They will cause you lots of pain. I am now well and truly on the trigger train. Choo choo. I'm speeding down the railway, crashing off the cliff, down to my doom. Bye, bitch! So if you would like to submit your stories, please comment down below some of your stories and I'll do it for the next one. Make sure you hit the like button, because it's really help me out. Come follow me on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. The links are in the description and in the comments. I love you guys. Be fabulous, amazing, be gay, be everything you want to be, and don't let any bitch take out with you, because you are what? Flawless. Hello, lovely people. I just want to give a little extra special shout out to my top tier Patreons. Kiri Roseberry, Curtis and Mitchell, Fred Monster, Galaxy Star, Fire, Kelly Bowser, Kia, Nikki NG, and Philippa Clark. Thank you again and every single month for being my top tier patrons. I love you so much. We will have more fun to come. There's a don't know what that means. There's a link down below if you want to become a patron. And yes, bye.